going back through this word, all of it, new eyes.
Shalom, everyone. It's your boy, CASHAPP, giving all praises to the Most High, Elohim, and His word and His truth. My new lesson is finally up and ready. Will a man rob God? How were the prophets paid? Tithes and alms. In this lesson, you will learn a lot, especially many people who, without knowledge, think that the prophets and teachers were not taken care of and that they were just doing work for free, like as if people didn't have needs back then and they don't have needs today. And for those that are teaching, wherever you are teaching, you should be taken care of by the people and by those that follow you and believe in the work that you are doing. But today we are Christianized. We have not truly studied and examined the word of the Most High. So we say these things. But this lesson is about 2 hours long and I break it all down. So all praises to the Most High and His word and His truth. The Most High never had a man work for free because the Most High understood we all had needs. All right. Even the poor. Okay, now this lesson is a much needed, very much needed lesson today because, we have been destroyed by Christianity and, by the things we see going on in the Christian churches. And even though some of us may think we are in the truth, a lot of us still are Christian minded about a lot of things. And we just don't understand a lot. But this lesson, we're going to learn a lot today. And I even learned a lot because I had to go back and study and, really make sure, is it what it really is? And it is really what it is. So we're going to learn a lot today. We're going to dig deep today. We're going to touch in a little bit with the tithing and alms and, dealing with how the prophets were paid, and are you robbing the Most High today? Are we robbing the Most High? Which is a real good question when it comes to the services of the Most High, So I want to ask, do we not all need to eat? Do we not all need clothes? Do we not all need a place to live, shelter? And if we do need all these things, do not all these things cost? That's a question because many people think, the work we do should be for free, as if we don't have needs, as if everyone doesn't have needs. How do people survive that work for free? How? Do they depend on others to take care of them and pay their bills? Do they, after completing their task or duty of work, patiently wait on others to feed them? Do they, after completing their work, patiently hope and wait on the Most High to stretch out His hand and feed them? Or do we as believers help them, support them? Which is a good question because, ever since I started charging for my work and for the services that I do, many people understood and some didn't, But let's go here. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Many people say, oh, you should be doing this for free. Freedom. And an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. Many people say, oh, you're going off, G. You're going off. Like I'm just supposed to be working, doing this all for free. But those that know me, y'all know me by my work and what I've done over the years. Okay? But let's go here. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, And y'all know I study from the diligent work that I've done over the years for free. Y'all know I study. But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. I've had people curse me out, say all type of things to me, just wild out on me. You know, a handful of people, a handful of reckless people. But it's okay. But as it says, you know, the heart of the righteous studieth to answer. And that's what I've done here to help people understand. And like I said, Christianity has destroyed our way of thinking, our understanding. And a lot of us don't have a deep-rooted understanding of Scripture. It's almost just like people just say things like, it's almost like saying John 3:16, you know, to somebody that's awoke, you know, oh, you shouldn't be charging for your work. You should be doing this for free. That's like telling me John 3:16, because it shows me that you have not even studied. And you are actually in error of the commandment. But we're going to dig deep. We're going to get into this. You know, and as I said, we all have needs. We're all paying here. Some way or somehow, we're all paying here. And many people don't use common sense. We don't live in reality. But let me bring some reality or reality check right here to show you our current living situation, because many of us try to go back to the scripture and say, well, did they do this? Did they do that? Let's look at our current situation, and then we're going to go dig deep, and we're going to really dig into this lesson here. But let's go ahead into the scriptures here. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48, to remind you of our current reality. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against you. In hunger, you need food. And in thirst, you need a drink. And in nakedness, you're going to need clothes. And in want of all things. So you're going to serve your enemies, serving in want for all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he has destroyed you. We know that has happened to us. And we are right now currently serving our enemies. We are currently working under the hand of our enemies, right? Let's go here. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 32 to confirm when we come out of this captivity, we would have been serving. Okay. Miserable are the cities which your children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. So this is confirming that when the Most High destroys the nations, these cities are going to be miserable. All the cities that the Most High's children had served. Okay, once again, we are serving our enemies in want of all things. That's why I said in the beginning, you need food to eat. We need, clothes. You need a place to sleep. We need one of all things. That is our reality here in this place. So no man should be working for free. It doesn't matter what you're doing. And I'm going to show you how the Most High understands that. Before we even went into captivity, the Most High made laws and provisions for everything, because the Most High is all knowing. He has wisdom and understanding. Okay, he understands these things. So just to break down what I do, because many of you know I've lost my YouTube channel. Okay, if you don't know, had over 40,000. Lost the channel thanks to the YouTube.
Don't trust the Jews. Don't trust the Jews.
YouTube deleted my work. All my work was taken down. Okay, and I had to consider what I was doing. And many of you know, for years, I've been doing this stuff for free. For years, which is crazy. In this lesson, you're going to learn who has been defrauded here. But for years, I've been doing this work for free. And those of you know how I teach. I use scripture. I use college textbooks, scholastic sources, all different sources of information. I use movies. I use TV shows. Y'all know I went to school for TV and radio. So I do editing when I'm editing the movie, either the movie breakdowns or the lessons. And I incorporate, all sorts of things to make the learning experience that exciting and that more real. and that more profound. Okay, spending hours, days, weeks, months preparing and putting things together for y'all. And I was doing that for years. For years. Okay, if we look at a teacher's salary, okay, you see how much the teachers make. Okay, if we look at a videographer's salary, you can see how much they make. And these are along the lines of my occupation and what I do. Okay, if we wanted to be real technical about my services that I provide here. And once again, YouTube deleted my channel. This is what prompted me to reconsider all the things that I was doing for free. Spending my own money, buying the books. You know what I'm saying? Now I had to set the website up, pay for the hours to even upload video work, spending the time editing, all these things, you know. And people feel a way that I charge for my services for the specific work that I do. And they say, oh, you shouldn't be charging for the truth. I'm charging for my services and what I do. And when we dig in this lesson, you're going to see who's really wrong. And you're going to see I have been defrauded of all my work for all these years because people barely ever supported. And thank you for those who did support me and during that time. Now that I started this physical school, my hopes and my dreams is to open my physical school. So how will I do that? Of course, it's going to cost money. There's nothing free. Once again, we are serving under our enemies. Okay? So I'm going to need funds to keep that open, pay the rent, the light, and all these things, supplies, all these things to make this school thing, this physical school happen. We need to get a reality check on where we at. You know, as the Most High said, Zephaniah chapter 2:1, gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired. We are the people not desired. We need to gather together. How can we gather together when we see each other as less than nothing? And we don't think that we should be supporting each other or helping each other do anything. How is the nation of Israel going to grow? We really need to think and consider these things. We can't gather together and do what? Gather together where? Under a cardboard box? We need to establish things. And this is why the nations are lifted up, because they think they use their brain. We're destroyed. And we've been taught to hate each other. But we're going to dig deep into this lesson and get some understanding. We're going to bring these things out. So let's begin. No man works for free, not even the servants of the Most High. Okay? Because once again, we all have needs. And the Most High was wise enough to understand that if any would not work, neither should he eat. You see that? So if you don't want to work, you shouldn't eat. Or how could you eat and not be working? Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor. Double honor. Not you giving them a high five or giving them a like on a YouTube video. Okay? But support for that man's needs. Double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. This is what Paul is saying. Let them be worthy of double honor. Not yo, that was good, G. Yo, that was dope, man. That video was fire, man. No. Support that man, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. Let's jump down to verse 18 to confirm. For the scripture saith, now he going to the law, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and the laborer is worthy of his reward. You see that? The laborer is worthy of his reward. You're supposed to take care of that man. And they're worthy of double honor, those that labor in the word and doctrine. It's right here. He's not telling you, yo, do this for free. Do that for free. You should be doing that for free. No, the elders are worthy of double honor that labor for you in the word and doctrine. You understand? The laborers are worthy of their reward. And that's why he used that, thou shalt not muzzle an ox that treadeth out the corn. Let's get that. Deuteronomy chapter 25:4. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when it treadeth out the corn. Why? Because this animal was known for treading out the corn and wheat and whatnot. And also at opportunities, it would eat from it. So don't muzzle it. Okay, it's gonna eat from its own work. Don't put a cap on it. Don't put a cover on it. They're gonna eat from that same corn that is basically trying to tread out for you. So it's not good to stop the ox from eating from its own work. That's what he's saying here. Who planteth a vineyard and eateth not of the fruits thereof? Or who feedeth a flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock? Basically, you're gonna eat from your own work. Who's not gonna eat from their own work? So me charging for the specific services that I do, as I brought out, why wouldn't I not eat from my own work? Especially if I need to survive in this reality that we're living in today. But this is what Paul is saying right here. Say I these things as a man. So he's like, am I saying this as a man? Or say if not the law, the same also? So the law is saying this, that you can eat from your work. For it is written in the law of Moses. So here we go. Thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of an ox that treadeth out the corn. Same thing he's saying again. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, like me teaching and breaking things down, is it a great thing if we reap your carnal things? Clothing, money, food. You see that? If we are teaching you these spiritual things, is it a great thing if we reap your carnal things? If you take care of us, you support us? That's what he's saying here. That's exactly what he's saying here. That's why it says, do not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn. Okay? Your elders are worthy of double honor. Man, this is why we need to study. Because we still, though we think we're in the truth, we still have a Christian mindset. The Levites, priesthood office. First, we're going to deal with the land being divided so we can understand reality checking the things that were going on. Unto these, the land shall be divided for an inheritance. Now, if you know anything about the land, okay, just like where we are in captivity, the land, you see these landlords, they own the land and they rent out, whether it be a house or, apartments or whatever, they make money off the land. So when we had our land, we were making money or yielding from the land and what the land produced. And that's how we survived off the land. We wasn't just walking around doing nothing. Okay, we have to understand that. Okay. And this shall be the priest due from the people. Okay, from the people. So once again, the Most High is making a provision for the priest and the ministers to eat. This was a commandment. Okay, from them that offer sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep. Okay, this is what they had at that time, which had money value. And they shall give it unto the priest, the shoulder and the two cheeks and the maw, the first fruit also of thy corn and of thy wine and of thine oil and the first of the fleece of thy sheep, thou shalt give him. Commandment, you shall give him. So if these things had money value, which they did, you're supposed to give this to them according to the Most High. You're not supposed to tell him you're supposed to work for free. You just keep doing the work of the Most High and you just do it for free. No.
Did somebody say dummy doctrines? Oh my gosh.
But clearly, y'all not reading. For those that have no understanding. For the Most High your God have chosen him out of all your tribes to stand to minister, keyword, in the name of the Most High, him and his sons forever. And I'm sure many people are going to think they slick and say, oh, well, I was just for the Levites. You ain't no Levite. Oh, yeah? Oh, we're going to break that down too. I have given the children of Levi all the 10% in Israel for an inheritance. So that 10% of your corn, 10% of your oil, 10% of your wheat, 10% of whatever, all of that was going to Israel. Everybody was taking 10% and bringing it to the Most High for the Levites, which would be no different today. For their services which they serve, even the services of the tabernacle, also of the services of the tabernacle of the congregation. You see that? So clearly, the Most High would not leave those who serve him empty-handed. Like people are telling me today, I should be doing this work empty-handed for free. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heave offering unto the Most High, I have given to the Levites to inherit. You see, Israel was taking care of the Levites, of those that were serving as ministers and doing the services for the Most High. That's how everybody lived, because the Most High already blessed Israel with having the land, and your land being blessed to increase your food and your cattle and all these things which had great money value. That's how people were. That's how they were living. For those that don't understand how they were living, it was just walking around chilling. Okay, it was economics and things of that nature going on at this time. People say, "Oh, what were the prophets doing? The prophets wasn't doing nothing. Were they getting money?" That's just how they were getting paid, through whatever at that time. This is why Paul said this. Do you not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple? Because once again, they were bringing in the tithes of this and the tithes of that. And those that were ministering was living off of this 10%. So if they brought 10% of corn or whatever value that had, they lived off of that. That's why he's saying that. Paul understood that. It was no you working and you teaching for free. Like if you ain't got needs, like you ain't supposed to live out here. And we in captivity now. You don't think nobody has needs? Common sense. Okay, once again, do you not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple? And they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar. That's what I was showing y'all early in the beginning. Okay, should he not eat from the work that he's doing? Come on. Verse 14. Even so hath the Most High ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. We're not talking about spiritually living, but physically. Because these people at the time, they were law keepers. They were keeping the law. They were paying their tithes at this time. Today, we acting like we law keepers, but we don't even want to give a brother anything for his services. We telling him he should be doing it for free. Okay, but check this out now. Let's go here, 16 through 18, and really break it down. The Levites were not the only ones who can receive tithes. Because I know people think, oh, well, it was just the Levites. All right, well, let's see. Let's go. Let's get it. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine. And he was the priest. I said he was the priest of the Most High God. But wait a minute, hold on. He was only the Levites, man. And he gave him what? Tithes of all. Oh, what? He gave him tithes? Say word, I thought it was a Levite. Okay. If therefore perfection were by the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people received the law, as we read earlier. Okay. What further need was there that another priest should rise after the order of Melchizedek? You see that? And not be called after the order of Aaron. For the priesthood being changed, there is made of necessity a change also of the law. Okay? For such a high priest became us. Okay? So it wasn't no more just a Levitical priesthood or just the Levites who were now taking up this priesthood or becoming the ministers of the Most High. Okay? The Mashiach never canceled paying of the tithes. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Okay, for you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law. So he's saying y'all pay y'all tithes, but you've omitted these other heavier things in the law. So now the apostles, they were basically hired servants doing this work. But let's go here. Let's bring it out. These 12 Yahusha sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not in the way of the Gentiles, and go into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Don't go there, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Okay? Not break down Esau and all these other different doctrines. Okay? This was the gospel of Christ talking about. It was preaching repentance, turning from sin and repentance. Okay? Saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Okay? Heal the sick. Cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. And Christians and Hebrew Christians, I would say, that don't really understand what is being said here. Okay? How do they do these things? Okay? Freely you have received, freely you give. Now that line right there, they'll throw that at you like, you see, freely you receive, freely you give. What did they receive freely? But you shall receive power. After that, the Holy Ghost has come upon you. They receive power. That's how they're able to heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, and cast out devils. They receive that power. Something that we do not have. So when people say freely you give, freely you receive, let me hit you in your head again. Freely you give? Well, Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 and verse 31. Let not thy hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Again, going back to what Paul was saying in 1 Timothy 5:17. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. Don't let your hand be stretched out to receive and shut when you should repay. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 11. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, if I'm teaching you, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? Take care of that man. But see, we don't. Oh, man. Remember, he said, take no, in verse 9, he was like, provide no gold, no silver, nor brass in your purses. Remember, they're going on a journey to preach. Okay, now in verse 10, he's saying, nor scrip for your journey, nor 2 coats. Well, aren't they going to need coats and stuff? Neither shoes, nor yet staves. Check this out. For the workman is worthy of his meat. That means you're going to take your behind out there and work, homie, for your food. You gonna get out there and work. Don't take no money, no nothing. Don't they need money and all that stuff? Don't they gonna need coats and all that? No, you're going to work, and those that receive you are going to take care of you, provide all of that for you. That's why they didn't need to take all of that, because they're going to do the work. They're going to put in work. They're not going to be out there just teaching for free. They're going to be working to survive, basically, to live. They at this time understood that. We at this time, being mentally destroyed by our enemies and being deceived by false Christianity and not studying on top of that, we lost. We don't have that understanding now. We don't have that. We lost that. Okay? For the workman is worthy of his meat. You're going to be working, bruh. Not on teaching on the street for free. So all the brothers that are teaching out on the streets for free and wherever you doing your services at, people should be supporting you. People should be supporting you. I'm against the Christian church and how they do, taking, robbing the people, not even barely teaching anything, and then robbing them for all this money. That's what I have an issue with. All right, but let's get it again now. 70 to do this work. Do this work. And sent them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and place. They're going to do work. Okay? Teaching is work. All right? Or preaching, whatever you want to call it. All right? Carry neither purse, saying it again, nor scrip, nor shoes, and in the same house remain, eating and drinking such things as they give. As they give. Okay, that's why he said don't take none of that stuff with y'all, because you're going to work for it, bruh. For the laborer is worthy of his hire. What? The laborer is worthy of his hire? Why would they use these words? His hire. The laborer, he's working for his hire. He's hired work. He is hired work. But y'all telling me I should be out here teaching, even if I was teaching on the street corners, which I have, and I've taught in gyms and stuff. But even if I was teaching wherever, I should be receiving something also for the work I'm doing. The laborer is worthy of his hire. Okay? We need to understand that. Basically, if we want to equate that to today, if we wanted to bring the past of what was going on here to our reality today, they are traveling workers. If you want to equate that to today. So if they came to your city, you would have to pay for their room and board and food, basically, and give them a little something extra, a couple dollars or something, for doing what they doing. An angel was paid for his work. He said, so now this angel said, dost thou seek of a tribe or family or an hired man to go with your son? But tell me, what wages shall I give you? So you want to pay him for his work. Wilt thou a dratch, a day, and things necessary? See, so you want to pay him for his work and things necessary. If you return safe, I will add something to your wages. So you're going to pay him and add something to it. Then Tobit called his son Tobias and said unto him, my son. So now they're back from the journey. See that the man have his wages, which went with you, and thou must give him more. Must give him more. And Tobias said unto him, O father, it is no harm to me to give him half of those things which I have brought. See, he's like, man, I'll give him half of this bread. I ain't tripping. Verse 3. For he have brought me again to you in safety. Oh, really? And made whole my wife. Oh, yeah? And brought me the money. And likewise, healed you. Wait a minute. Didn't Mashiach, when he was sending them out, he was like, heal the people, cleanse the lepers, cast out devils and all of that. And he's basically saying, he brought me home in safety. He made my wife whole. He brought me the money, and he healed you. And this guy, he's being paid for this. Okay, verse 4. Then the old man said, it is due unto him. It's due. Like Paul was saying, the elders that do what they do, let them be worthy of double honor. Verse 5. So he called the angel and said unto him, take half of all that you have brought and go away in safety. So he told him to take half of that bread right there. The angel, this is an angel. So if an angel can get paid, then a man can get paid for his services and his work. It wasn't you freely giving you, and you're not giving me nothing. I'm doing all of this and I'm not getting anything. Where is your understanding, my brothers and sisters? And I'm speaking for those that may not have the understanding or may be strong in their vain opinion. So for those who don't like to pay for services and take care of the Most High's servants, okay, our people, we don't like to support our own kind, but yet we always have our hand out. I know I've been doing work for free for years and have barely gotten support from people, as much people as I've fed spiritually with knowledge. And I never really complained. And now that I had started, YouTube took my stuff down. So I was just trying to reconsider all the work that I was doing, and, me paying for my own services to keep things running. And, my future hopes in starting my own school, and then people getting upset with me for what I'm trying to do is like, how can I succeed and be prosperous in this work that I'm doing? If I don't get support, and, how can we do anything? Not even just me, with my own personal dreams of starting my own school and stuff like that, but just anything as a people, if we don't come together and support one another, start a business and do these things. How can we do things together as a people if we feel like, we shouldn't support, And I think that's a big problem for us. And, that's a big hindrance for us as a nation. I mean, even just to add to that, we would, support our enemies. We would wait on long lines and wild out and bum rush the stores just to support our enemies. If I had I made this point before, if I had a loaf of bread and my enemies had a loaf of bread, we would go to our enemies and buy their loaf of bread, then support our own. We would bum rush their stores and buy up everything they have. We would give them our last dollar rather than go and support our own people. And then when we go home, we wonder why we are living in the conditions that we're living in, because we don't see each other as valuable. We don't. We are cursed and destroyed people. And until we wake up and come back to who we are and these commandments and understand and think deeply, we will always be in this situation. And we won't ever prosper. And the Most High laid it out for us what we should be doing. And that's why he says, love thy neighbor, love your brothers. But unfortunately, this is most difficult for people to do, for our people to do. If you look at the other nations, you watch how they work, how they move, I give it up to them. They study, they learn whatever it is that they need to do, and they come together and they build and they support, especially the Chinese. I observed them. They really know how to build together and take over economically. They are just awesome with what they do, and that speaks volume, man. It really speaks volume. So we need to look into ourselves as a great investment and start, supporting each other, with opening up our own businesses. I encourage brothers and sisters to start their own businesses, and we need to support each other's business, and put back into our people. But let's go here. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 14 and 15. Okay, this is the last section here. Thou shalt not oppress a hired servant. And we know they were hired servants that the Mashiach sent out to do the work of the Most High. Okay, and they were taken care of. All right, just like the priest. All right, they were taking care of the services, ministering to the Most High, and the Most High made it law for them to be taken care of through the tithes. Will a man rob God? That's the topic here. Yet you have robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed you? In tithes and offerings. If you would like to watch the full video, please join my online school. Y'all know I don't teach on YouTube anymore since they took my channel down. Had over 40K. So please join my online school if you would like to view this lesson. On that note, peace and shalom. Y'all know how I do. One love.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.